Hello guys, and welcome to this tutorial. In today's video we are going to proceed with our controller or logic that is in this controller here. In the last video we created our sign in functionality and sign up. These are functionality that will handle the user signing in our application and signing up. So after that, now we just go and start to write the logic for parcels. I've already created the logic that we'll need. First of all, we need this get all parcel logic. We need to update parcel, we need to delete parcel, and we need to add post and or parcel. Let me add here parcel. Should not be post, add parcel, and then we need to get parcel for user. So parcels for user. So now if you come here in our roots down here and you come here to a parcel down here, already have created their roots and how they look like. And here now I want to change this to be parcel, and this should be a parcel too, so that it makes sense. Just like that. I did this to at least save some time, because already you know what is happening now. So we have this root that will have root.get a function that will just call this root and then execute this logic. We have post of this default route, and it will call this function for adding parcel, and then this one is put for updating, and then it will update, and then you have this update for soft delete, and it will delete that parcel. And we have root.post, and this post will try and fetch the data for the user. So now what we need to do is just go back and try and show you how to create these controllers. But before that, I came here in our interface and I added this body here in our request, because I want to use this extended interface in our parcel, because we need to add a body. If you watched the later video in this user signing in and sign up, you already saw how I did with the user. I created this interface here and I added body. So this is just a way of adding some extra things in your body request. So after now that's all that I have done to save some time. I'm hoping that this tutorial should be very short before we get into the background services. So now that's all that I wanted to show you beforehand. So now welcome into this tutorial here, or this part of this application, the controller for the parcel or logic for the parcel. And what we need to start with is to create our connection instance. So what we'll do is just say import, and we'll import connection. This one will be from our helpers, and then it is up there, and then we have database, just like that. So we have that connection, and we need to know what's the problem. Connection is declared but it's never used. It's okay, but I think we need to repeat here and see what the problem is. So it is helpers, just like that, and then database should be okay now. And here we need that quotation mark. So now we need to create an instance. So it's just a const, and then it's db, and create a new instance. And to create an instance we need to use new keyword. So now we have created the connection instance now. So after that, now we need to start coding here. So our first logic is to get all parcels. How admin will get this parcel, because admin should get all parcel he or she should get all the parcels. So now what we will do here, we just try catch first of all. So try catch. So we just come here, and the first thing that we want is to run this command here, parcel. And now if you remember now what we do, we just call that connection instant and say exec, and then what's our procedure name? The store procedure name was called get all parcels, just like that. So now you can see our await is giving us error because we haven't added async here, because we need to use async so that we access this await keyword. So just like that, and then now this one should be parcels because there are many, and it should have been. Now we can just send this data to our front end, or we can say now res.status. It's auto completing for me and I don't want that. So dot status, we don't have res because we haven't added here request and response request, and it should have now the extended request because we added the body, so that our body will be having an response, and it will have the response type, just like that. And then now you see there is no error. Now we need to send the data, so we just say the status, and then status code is 200.json, and now we need to say parcel and or parcels.record set. This is an array of those parcels. So now what we need, if we don't have is we have an error, let's send our error. So we just give a 500 and say JSON, and we send that error. So as simple as that. Now let's format this code here quickly. So after that now we continue here. So what we'll do, we just add request here and should accept extended here, and response should have this response here. So after that now we can say try catch, and the first thing that we need to do now is to accept the ID here, because we need the ID in order to know which parcel to update. So now what you do, there's something that is called request handler. You can see it is here. So it is, you are imported from Express also, and this request handler accepts generics, and you can, in our generics we give an object that has an ID, and this ID we give it a string. So after that now you can come here, and now we can say something like we need to update our parcel according to that ID. So what you do, you just say const ID, and you say request dot params and dot ID, just like that. And that's how you get the request that you send through the params. So now let me give it here, or let me paste it there, and then now again you need to get status, because you need to update the status, and say status, and you can come here and say request dot status dot body, just like that. Because if we used here the request type or the request interface, just like that, if you come here you won't be auto completed. There will be no auto completion. But when you have already added extended here, by default it will give you that auto completion, and it helps you to avoid some errors. So you need to say extended or status status. You can see the auto completion is working. So now you can come here inside try catch, and the first thing that you can do is now await, and now you can say db.exec. That is to run the command for our stop procedure. So say get, or you can say update parcel, because that's the name of our stop procedure. And after that, now we can add these parameters id, and we need to add status here, just that. And now you can see it's giving us the status should be of number. So what we'll do, first of all, let me add here request at this time. So you come and change later, and because await is giving us error here, you can just say async, just like that. And then again, now we need to add some code here, and we need to say status. And because there is no data that we are sending, what we can add is a message. You can say this one, and you can give a message. Let's say message should be the parcel updated successfully. And if there's an error, you can say res.status. You can say something like 500.json. You can add either error or a message. Let's this time add a message. You can say something went wrong. It is wrong. And now let's update, format this code here, there. So now you can come here. This one actually we should give it soft delete, and say soft delete, just that. And let me move this here. Should be soft delete. And now you can just come here inside. Let's first of all add this request and response. So what we'll do is here say request, and it should be from request, and response should be from response, just like that. And now we can just add our code here, our logic. So what we do is just first of all accept the ID, because we need an ID to know which parcels that we delete or will soft delete. So we need here ID, and ID will come from request handler. And if you can remember, this takes generic and objects inside. So you can say ID in string. Now here you can say const ID, and this we are accessing it through params, and then ID, just like that. That's complete. So now try and catch. So what we'll do now, we need to first of all, let me add something here, or let me get this status, and this status should come from request body, because we need to update. It's not delete. So request the body, and then that's correct. So now we just enter here in our try catch, and what we can say, you can say await, and await should be getting or executing a stop procedure called soft delete, or soft delete, just the way we call it, soft delete. And it should accept parameters, 2 of them. First one is ID there, and status all deleted. Say deleted. Actually this one should be deleted, should get from deleted deleted value. That is, now because you can see here we have an error that is coming from await, using await keyword, so we can say async. And now let's continue down here, and we can say test.status and can give it to 100 and .json. And what we can do, we can just say something, or let me say parcel was deleted successfully. And now here we need to add to send a response if there is an error. .status, and you can say 500. You may say JSON. You can say something went wrong, just like that. So that one we have implemented. And for the sake of those people that maybe didn't watch the video about soft delete and our database, what soft delete means, that let's say you have an account with Facebook and you want to terminate that account, and you want to delete your account from Facebook. So what Facebook does, if you delete your account, it doesn't delete completely your entry or your account in their database. What they do, they just hide it from you seeing or from other people accessing your account, but your account still exists in the database, and that's what it's called soft deleting. So what we do in our application, we just give that value or entry in our database now a deleted value that will be of 1, meaning that entry has been deleted, and we will hide it from our front end. That's what soft delete is, and most of companies work like that because they don't want to delete their data, because they need that data maybe in data analytics and something of the sort. So I hope you have understood that, or you have understood that. Now you can see here we have error, and that's because we changed here the name, or we changed what we are calling that function. So what we do, just come here and add or import now soft delete, because we have changed soft delete, and here now we have soft delete, just like that. So now go back here and implement for adding. So it's the same thing. So what we'll do, just come here, and in our request.body, what we'll do, just first of all say const, or first of all what we need is to accept the values from the front end or the input. So just say we come from request.body, just that. And what we need from our request.body, first of all, is send an email, and we need receive an email. We need track ID, and then location, destination. We need dispatched date, and we need weight, we need price, we need markers, and we need status, just like that. Or even we won't add this status and something, because already status will be added as 0 by default, and deleted will be added as 0, and our ID will be created and it will auto increment, meaning we'll be having a unique ID with every entry because it is auto incrementing. Okay, now from there, now we can add try catch, and guess what we need to add? We need to add here async, just like that. And now down here we can continue and say await, and you need now to execute the store procedure for adding, and this one is called add parcel, and now it should accept several inputs, and this input should be sender email. These ones here, actually I will just copy them. I will just copy these entries here, just copy all of them down there, and then add it. Let's add those entries there. So now it's okay, I've completed that, and after that now you can say s.status and need to say 200 and or 201 because we have altered our database, or we have added something in our database. And what we say is or what we just add as a message here, we just say parcel has been added successful. Now we have the last function or the last logic that we want to implement. Yeah. So now what you do, you just add by accepting email, just say const email. So it should come from the body first of all, and it should get this from request body. So what you just say is email from request.body, and now from here what you can do is try and catch. So try catch, just like that, simple. So now what you need to do is need to add something here, like you can say parcel, and you can execute our db exec, and our store procedure is called get parcel for the user, or for user, just like that. And we have an input, so this input will include email, and now we need to add async here because it will run in the future, and we need this async in order for us to use this await. So after that, now what you can do, you can just say res.status, and now actually this one, let's call it parcels. And now what you can do, you can add 200 and say JSON, and now you can say parcels.record set, just like that. And that should be an array of parcels that are owned by this person or user. After now that, you can come down here and say status. You can say 500 and say something like something went wrong. So, it's okay, should be as simple as that. And now what else can we do? I think we don't have anything now. I think that's complete logic of this controller here for the parcel, and I think that's okay. So now we have completed the roots. Now the next video should be for store procedure, and now we start integrating with our front end. We need to now start testing and using our front end to fetch the data from backside or this backend, and now we start seeing things like scheduling how the email will be sent from our application or from our background services. And that's what I want to do in the next video. So let's see you in the next video, and subscribe, like this video, because already you know what is coming next, and I'm happy to see you there. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.